Hey everyone, this is Miner's Forge here, and today I'm going to be doing something pretty interesting. I'm actually going to be talking about my thoughts on not just the game, but on the drop system updates themselves. Uh, you know, a lot of people have been having concerns, been having complaints, been having a lot of strong opinions on this new the way Minecraft has been handled lately as far as updates go and what's being added and what's not being added and the mob votes and the biome votes and all these extra little grievances that people are just, having issue with or disagreements. And a lot of that stems from the fact that Minecraft has a massive community. It is the best-selling game of all time. Well, best-selling video game, and it has a massive audience among multiple different age groups, which all pretty much means that no one's ever gonna agree what's right for the game. Not only that, but it has multiple playstyles. You have builders, redstoners, redstone builders, survivalists, adventurers, explorers, combat PvP, PvE players, adventure map makers, mod makers, and shader makers, and just everything in between, early programmers, people who just don't, who want to start programming, people who are already programming but just love the game, people who have barely played the game but want to make a cool new project. So many different things, so many different groups of people, and managing all of that is super difficult. And let's talk about Mojang. So Mojang initially is an indie company. It was founded by Notch. Everyone knows Notch, good old guy with the fedora, big beard, and his Minecraft skin drops an apple, golden apple, when killed, and everyone kind of likes the Notch, at least, initially, in Minecraft's 2009 to, 2012 era. But by the time Microsoft bought Mojang, people were kind of upset at Notch, because why would he sell it? It's his baby, it's his company, but he had kind of gotten disillusioned with the Minecraft community, got disillusioned with making it, and who wouldn't take billions of dollars from Microsoft and buy a mansion in California? I mean, are you stupid? Take that deal! And besides, he still gets to make games, and he kind of gets himself out of the public eye for a time, because being in the public eye, having all that attention focused on you, is not the most fun thing in the world, I can imagine, and multiple celebrities have mentioned that being the center of everyone's attention, while great, is also completely destroying some of their private lives. So if you're not, I do not blame you for selling Minecraft. However, for the most part, Minecraft has been run by Jeb and Jeb's team and picks and ideas, and ever since the adventure update, since beta 1.8 was it? Ever since the adventure update, ever since Jeb came on board, he has essentially been leading Minecraft. He has been the main vision for the game, and he still is the main vision for the game. So for most of Minecraft's lifespan, even before version 1.0, it was Jeb. So Jeb's vision has been what we are seeing for the most part, or at least his direction has been what we have been seeing come into fruition. So during that whole time, we had the update system and snapshots. So you would go from a certain alpha to beta to version 1.0, and you would get all those little in-between versions, and people would get feedback, and these updates would drop pretty quickly. However, Minecraft is based on Java, at least Java Edition is based on Java, and Java can be very annoying to code with. From coders I've talked to, I can barely code, and all of my coding experience is within Python, and I can barely get Hello World to work. So that tells you all you need to know if you are a coder, how little I know about coding. Anyway, so Java is difficult to code in, and Minecraft is over a decade old game. It's massive. It has massive reach, it runs on multiple platforms, and it needs to run on lower-end hardware as well that has been supported for, a long time. Now, slowly they are dropping some of these lower-end hardware as Java updates, as Minecraft updates, as more requirements are met as the game grows. That's just how the game has to grow. If you only restrict yourself to lower-end PCs, then you'll never be able to improve the game, because then, well, you're running on old technology, and Minecraft will be stuck in the early 2010s. So what we have now is the new drop system, and I like the drop system, kind of. Mojang is still kind of not been telling us completely what the drop system is. Like, is it the permanent new update system? Is it replacing all updates? Will we have 0 new updates? Will we be stuck on 1.21? Will it eventually just tick over after enough drops? Who knows? But let's talk about the history of drops. You know, a lot of people think the first drop is the Armored Paws drop, but I'm going to argue that the first drop was actually in, I think, 1.16.2, where they added the Piglin Brute. Before then, the Piglin the Piglin Bastions had multiple functions. You had your piglins, the piglins with the sword and with the crossbow, and, people were saying it was kind of feeling empty, and Mojang had kind of surprised us with the, Basalt Delta, which some people don't like that biome. I personally love the biome, but you can definitely tell it's more afterthoughty because they just used Basalt, which initially was going to be more of a Soul Sand Valley exclusive thing, and then with that they added, a biome for the Magma Cube, which made the update feel more rounded, but they reused music from the Soul Sand Valley. They kind of added it after not even planning to add it for a while, just to help the community, but a lot of people don't like it because they find it annoying to traverse, which is also the danger of adding new stuff. You see, just because you add it doesn't mean people are going to like it or think it's good for the game, i.e. the Phantom. Though I actually kind of like the Phantoms, but I think they need to do more with the Phantoms to make them justifiable for their minor annoyance, but that's just me. Anyway, back to the drop. So the first drop, I'd argue, would be adding the Piglin Brute. It's a new mob, it changed the dynamic of the Bastions, so now it was both harder in the Bastion, because the Piglin Brute would attack you no matter if you were wearing gold or not, unlike other Piglins, but he would also set off other Piglins if you attacked him, making it even more of a sneaky fest instead of just waltzing on in there with gold, completely denying any challenge. Other than the Magma Cube. Well, yes, opening chests is also a challenge, but having the extra Piglin Brute, which can do a lot of damage with the new 1.9 axe damage mechanic, is really neat. It's kind of like a Vindicator for the Nether, and it added a good bit of challenge and also something to watch out for. It made being in the Bastions scarier, which is really good because you want to be kind of worried. This is a semi-optional end game, not end game, but like mid to basically end game area. In fact, almost post end game if you're trying to get netherite later on, and you don't really need netherite to take on the end. It's more of a nether thing if you want to explore more of the nether. So all in all, this end game to post end game edition is really useful for people who want more challenge and people who just thought that the Bastion was getting a little too easy with its built-in mechanics, basically just being the same as the rest of the Nether with Piglins. However, since that was post-launch for the update and just came out afterwards, I would argue that this extra edition would be arguably a drop. It added post-update, it was a point update, it was a whole new mob. So yeah, I'm going to argue that is the first drop. Now moving on to the Armored Paws drop, which is a little more substantial. You get the new Armadillo, the Armadillo's Scoot, which you can use for dog armor, and which, if I remember correctly, was voted in on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was voted in. It was a mob vote mob. So they added in the mob vote mob to satiate the community. They added in the dog armor. They added in I think they added in multiple color things, and then later we got, a single item. Well, actually, no, the Armored Paws drop, I think, also gave us the dog variants, which was really cute. Oh, excuse me. Really cute, really good to have. And that's really different from, like, it basically it's like a way to update the dogs without actually updating the dogs. Because, cats in 1.14 had gotten an update, they had more new variants, they had a couple more new functions, and I do wish that dogs and wolves still had more functions, like more sit-down animations, and could do more things, because they still don't feel as complete as the cat, but I can understand why Mojang doesn't want to behaviorally change anything that's been in the game for a while, because that can mess up someone's redstone, that can mess up someone's build, that could change the dynamic that people are used to, and people don't actually like change. Sorry, people who want the game to change, to have more updates, but people don't actually like it when Minecraft changes. People don't like that dynamic. I mean, a lot of people do. That's the trouble with updating Minecraft. But say, hey, if you change how beds work, a lot of people to, that before 1.8 adventure update, then people are going to, beta 1.8, they're going to be upset because they're used to this current bed system. Think about it. If creepers were added today, people would not be happy. A mob that can sneak up on you, blow you up from behind, is mostly silent, and can destroy your build, and blends in, is not necessarily a fun mechanic. But it's been grandfathered in. It's been nostalgia'd in. Endermen have been grandfathered in. They literally pick up blocks, and they can be a minor nuisance. And I recently saw on Reddit someone complaining about how Enderman stole part of the path that above it was their rail line. So, it's destroying their builds. And obviously Mojang doesn't do mobs that destroy blocks anymore because people find it annoying. People would rather their builds not be destroyed by mobs. Then again, they still have the zombie horde mechanic and zombie siege mechanic, and zombies break doors. But doors are more special, and they drop the doors when they break them, if I remember correctly. So it doesn't really matter, at least for the zombie siege function, because how else are they going to get in? Open the door? That could also be a problem. I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, I remember doing zombie sieges back a long while ago. On super flat worlds, I would go into villages and there'd be zombie sieges and I would fight them off as a mechanic. Pretty fun. Now we have villager raids, which are similar but more wave based, more developed, more complicated, much more different than beta Minecraft and early Minecraft. And these drops, after the Armored Paws drop, we got the... Oh gosh, why am I blanking on the next drop? We got the bundle drop, something that was supposed to be added in the Caves and Cliffs update, but obviously Mojang had some trouble with the Caves and Cliffs update. Poor Mojang, with their multi-trillion dollar company backing them, Microsoft. Dev development is difficult, and I know they struggled to make it so that bundles would be parity on both Java Edition and Bedrock Edition, and they wanted the controls to work smoothly. And now that bundles are added, they're really useful. I really love the mechanic, and they're super useful. I think they do exactly what they need to clear up space. I personally think all that extra development time was warranted, because now you have bundles that can act as a proper midpoint between early game and late game with the shulkers. See, the problem with adding extra storage space early on is that it completely invalidates the shulker box. And a problem with that is going to be the same thing as with minecarts and horses. So why have horses and minecarts when you can just speedrun to the end and get yourself an elytra? Yeah, and those other sources of transportation become useless. I mean, who the heck uses a pig for transportation except for a joke or for fun? You don't use a pig for transportation. I'm sorry. However, not everyone speedruns to the end, and a lot of veteran Minecraft players take the game a little too quickly. Now, part of that is just our perception, because we just see their edited down versions of playthroughs. We don't actually see the hours and hours and hours that go in. But a lot of times people literally just speedrun. They go to the end in iron armor, find it immediately, and within like 3 hours they've already beaten the game and they barely have even a base build. But I mean, that's fine. You can play the game like that. That's one of the appeals of, say, Breath of the Wild, of, say, Tears of the Kingdom, all those new Zelda games, is that you can just kind of go to the end. You just hit those steps, you can speed run it, and you'll be ready to take on the end. It's just if you're skilled enough. So it doesn't really matter, but at the same time, a lot of people act like it matters, because Minecraft is a very open-ended game, and you pretty much get out of it what you put in. The game is very, very much a, hey, you want to go there? You can go there. You want to do that? You can do that. They don't want to put, Mojang doesn't want to put barriers in the way of your exploration, of your... They don't want to put barriers in the way of your exploration. They don't want to put barriers in the way of your progress. They want you to be able to go to a place, get what you want, and then build or do what you want. So they want any real barriers to be kind of shorter. It's not a, oh, I need to get this, to get this, to get this, to get this, all so I can build that all up to get this, which is how Terraria works. And a lot of people really like Terraria. But fundamentally, Terraria is a different game. It might be quote-unquote 2D Minecraft, but it's more of an RPG and less of a survival game and less of a creative outlet. Now, it is a very much creative outlet. There are multiple things that in Terraria block-wise that I wish were in Minecraft. I wish we had the block range extender. I wish you had more like things you could do to individual block. Actually, no, I don't wish that was in Minecraft. That would complicate the simple click and break and place system that Minecraft implements. So you know what? I take that back. Minecraft is just very open-ended, as I've said multiple times, and it's very fun because of that open-endedness, because of that simplicity. Its strength is its simplicity. So obviously, as you add more stuff, the complexity goes up and you lose some of that simplicity. Probably why the beta Minecraft has become so popular recently. However, a lot of beta Minecraft is just okay. It's not as fun. Like, yeah, it's more survivally, but still fundamentally at that point a different game from adventure. It's still the same game. It's still got the base like playability, the base gameplay, the base kind of loop, but it's still different. However, back to the drop. So after the Armored Paws drop, we got the Garden Awakens, which is after the bundle, we got the Garden Awakens, which included the Pale Garden, which was a great little update. I know a lot of people thought, oh, it was too small. Oh, the Pale Garden sticks out of the landscape too much. Oh, it's not scary enough. To combat all those points, it's an overworld. Like, not even a cave biome. It's an overworld biome. And what Mojang likes to do is they like to have everything normal kind of be more, not like normal, but things that are more manageable and easier be on the surface. Or if they are on the surface and difficult, they are hard to find, aka the Woodland Mansions. And as you get deeper down, then you get to stuff like the Warden. Then you get more mob spawning because generally it's going to be darker. You're going to get silverfish occasionally. You're going to get, the skulk. You're going to get more zombies like spawning in hordes and stuff. Well, zombie hordes are more of a surface thing. But yeah, you're going to find more dark stuff and mobs and all those other fun things. However, the Pale Garden is generally a little scary with its sound effects, and it creates a really good atmosphere, really unique atmosphere that I think it warrants its inclusion, and it creates a new mob block dynamic. Basically, the Garden Awakens is not really an exploration update as much as it's a resource gathering update. What you do is you go to these trees and you watch out at night for the creaking to gather resin. It adds a new little difficulty to getting this block. I wish you got more resin and that resin was more duplicated because, it's a little difficult to build if you're just basically mining from a couple trees. However, it's fun. You go around, you manage your distance and looking at the creaking, all so that you can build what you want. So you go around, you attack the creaking, you look away to get the resin, and you just repeat that over and over until you're set. Because it's Minecraft. You can do whatever. Wow, that was a great explanation of the creaking. I have a creaking tree over there. Basically, it's the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. You just attack it, and then you get resin, which you can use as a building block. And it's great as a building block because... Wait, I need to grab my diamonds. I am so silly. Yes, I am live playing, by the way. It's not just a pre-recorded thing. I just turned the sound off except for the music. So, yes. The creaking is a fun addition. It's fun to kind of go around the Pale Garden, and I'm glad they made the Pale Garden a little bigger. And as far as it standing out in the world, I kind of don't care. Like, it's supposed to stand out. It's a unique place. It's not just like, oh, a normal biome. It's not supposed to feel normal. It's supposed to feel off-putting. It's supposed to feel like, hey, you've wandered into this place and you don't quite know what it is. And it's a mutation of the normal dark oak forest. And it's really like, it's kind of mysterious, it's kind of fun, it's kind of kooky. Where is my anvil? There we go. And the creaking is just a fun little early scary mob. It's probably gonna scare the kids more than the adults, and it's not supposed to be as scary as the warden. So if you're complaining about it being like the warden, it's not supposed to be the warden. It's supposed to be the creaking. It's supposed to be not as scary. It's just supposed to be a little tree guy. And everyone loves a little tree guy. It's supposed to be an ant. It's a scary ant. And usually you don't get scary ants. You get the friendly Lord of the Rings ants. Granted, I do wish the creaking was a bit bigger, a bit taller. But it has a marketable design. It's cute, but it's also kind of scary. Which is that middle ground that Mojang really likes to hit. Mojang really likes it when you have creepy scary and cute but dangerous. You know, like, well, let's see. Basically, let's say you have a cute little plushie. And then its mouth opens and it has like a hordes of teeth. Yeah, that kind of cute but creepy. So, yeah. I mean, look at the bees. We have oversized bugs. Look at the size of that thing. Do you want to meet that in real life? No, exactly. However, in Minecraft, it's cute. And same with giant spiders. Spiders. I don't like spiders. I mean, in real life, I find them very creepy, but I'm not an arachnophobe. I just don't like them. Like, I'm not gonna freeze up and have a panic attack if I see one, or have like a mental reaction if I see one. I think some of them are cute. Jumping spiders are really cute, but I don't want them touching me. No. Anyway, the drop. The Pale Garden so far has been a pretty successful drop. But here's the thing. The bundle I think was like at the tail end of the wild update, after the wild update, before the Tricky Trials update. Yeah. So the Pale Garden is the first update after the trial update, or the Tricky Trials update. And here's the thing, because it's a 0.0 update, the Pale Garden, actually the Garden Awakens update, or drop, wow, I'm getting things real confused. The Garden Awakens update, or the Garden Awakens drop, is technically a part of the Tricky Trials update. So, does it play in to the Tricky Trials? Kind of. It is, in fact, a bit of a trial. It is a little bit tricky. It does have redstone uses. It does, like, facilitate more exploration, more building, and even though it is technically completely disconnected from the trial update, and it's its own kind of cornered off thing, I'm going to say it is technically a part of the Tricky Trials update just because it's in that 1.21 update cycle. So what these drops are, they're extensions to the main update that might not fit completely within the main update, but that do fit within the general, Minecraft dilemma, the normal Minecraft field of things. Like, say, hey, they want to add more. Like, they want to add a new biome, but they didn't have enough time to really add it in the main update. But they want to still have the main update feel more complete. So instead of spreading out resources, they're just going to add the whole main update and then add the extra thing later as a drop. That allows them to give us more consistent content, while also allowing us to have, like, what we want from the main thing that's more developed, and this extra more developed thing. That's developed on a shorter time span, yes. That's developed on a cheaper time span, most definitely. Let's look at the new drop that we don't actually know what the new drop is fully. Yay. So the new drop, we don't know the name for it, but basically we've been getting all these mob variants. Now we're getting, say, hey, new cows, new sheep, well, not new sheep, new chickens, new pigs, adding a little more life to this world that's kind of stayed the same for a while. It's basically an overworld wildlife update. Even though it doesn't add any new wildlife, it's still kind of a wildlife update. My biggest gripe with this update so far is that it's essentially just a bunch of retextured mobs. Like, that's it. It's even lazier for a lot of it than the Frostburn update, which many people consider the worst update in Minecraft history. Because all it did was add, like, a polar bear and a retextured husk and a retextured skeleton. Well, retextured zombie and a retextured skeleton. But even those were more unique. And I do like these mob variants, don't get me wrong. And I do like the new textures for the cows, the pigs, the chickens. because it's really cute, it's really fun, it gives you pretty much everything you could want from these new variants as far as looks go. It adds more variety to walking around the world, which is very needed, especially with how old Minecraft is now, because as much as we like to think of Minecraft as that old simple game, it's not anymore. It has to visually upgrade itself. And a lot of that visual upgrading is going to be through adding new blocks that spawn. And the new leaf litter is, pretty great as a block added on to already existing stuff. So it's basically just a retexture of the wildflower, of the pink petals, and it works. And most of this update is retextures, because here's the thing. Remember the April Fool's potato update? You all wonder why they had so much stuff. It was not even retextured items. It was slight color variants of existing things the entire way through. Mojang basically played a joke. And the joke was that, hey, look how poor quality and copy and paste everything would be if we just slightly retextured things and added that as like an update. Haha. Just one problem. Everyone liked it. Everyone liked this kind of lazy, it's just basically a retexture of existing things update. And that told Mojang something pretty interesting. That Minecraft players don't necessarily care about, at least the community doesn't necessarily care if something is reused. What they care about is appearance and what they care about is appearance and functionality. So what I mean by that is say, hey, even though the Minecraft community didn't care about that when the glow squid was added, but I think that was more due to Dream, and in the long run, I'd argue the glow squid was the best choice. Sorry, Ice Illager. The Ice Illager probably would have actually been more received like the Phantom. I mean, come on. Imagine getting knocked off cliffs by the Ice Illager every 5 seconds, instead of very rarely by a goat. Think about it. It would have annoyed you. It would have annoyed a lot of Minecraft players. And, Minecraft players are very inconsistent, as we all know. But the new drop system is so far working. But people are starting to get a little tired of it already, at least for this drop. With the new sheep that is just kind of color variants everywhere, so Mojang doesn't actually have to put in more effort to retexture and give new models, which I don't think they necessarily wanted to do. They just felt like the sheep needed something extra, and they probably only have a set amount of time for these drops because they want to pump them out a lot faster. And I appreciate that, but that comes to our next problem with the drops. It's the update speed. Now, a lot of people would prefer faster updates. But the problem with updating it really fast is that you alienate mod makers, because mod makers don't have like a proper Minecraft API yet, nor do they have the ability to update it this fast. Every time a Minecraft update comes out, it takes time for mod makers to catch up and update their mods to the newest version. And the modding scene in Minecraft is very big, very thought out, very thorough. And is probably one of the biggest modding scenes next to Skyrim and, I think Halo has a lot of mods, and Portal, I think, has a lot of mods. But other than that, I think, like, the two biggest ones are Minecraft and are Skyrim, and most Elder Scrolls games, most Bethesda games. Sorry, Bethesda, but your games kind of need the mods. I know some people say that Minecraft needs mods to be better. However, I'd argue that's not true. It functions really well on its own without mods, in my opinion. I'm currently playing base survival Minecraft. There's nothing special, nothing added, no texture pack. It's just base Minecraft, and it's still fun, it's still timeless, it's still iconic, and it still functions well and is fun. Are there some shortcomings? Yeah. Doesn't matter, though, because it's still fun, it still is appealing, it's still the same Minecraft everyone loves. And that's the thing. It's still the same Minecraft. Mojang's struggle is that they have to keep Minecraft the same while changing everything, which essentially just means add more content and bloat, which eventually changes the game, yes, definitely, but it's still the base game. And any fundamental changes, are, especially long-term changes, are really going to change the identity of Minecraft, change the foundation of how people interact with the game. And let's say, hey, you have a long-term survival world. Sure, seeing that change over time is nice, but over time, your contraptions start not working. Your boating thing, your boat, let's say you have a boat water slide. Doesn't work anymore. Boats are different, even though they're much better now, thank goodness. Say you have a mob farm, but now the mob drops change to make it more dynamic. Oh no. I mean, imagine if Mojang managed to patch out like large scale mob farms, even though they won't be able to because they take advantage of game mechanics, and in my opinion they break the game, and I almost never use mob farms, but that's another story for another day. However, it is a part of the community, and Mojang has to be aware of that. Probably why they added the tinted glass, which is great, because now you get to see through stuff while not letting any light in, which is basically just for mob farm makers and people who want dark rooms. But let's say you're a builder and you want to use mobs, but you don't want mobs to just spawn, but let's say you're in survival. You don't want mobs to spawn, but you do want to use darkness within a build. But you can't, because then mobs will spawn, especially creepers, which could blow it up. And mobs just spawning around your dark build feels weird, feels wrong. So now you have to light it up, and there's only a handful of light blocks, and all of them stand out because they're, well, light blocks. And so either you have your base and thing filled with torches, filled with sea lanterns, filled with frog lights, but you have to implement that. But what if you just want to have a darker build without any mobs spawning? You can't, because you're in base survival mode. So light as a spawning mechanic is great, but it's also tricky, because now you have to build around it and say you want to build a large structure. Oh, hey, you can't put in a light source everywhere if you're trying to have empty space, but there's still a massive roof causing it to be dark. Tricky. So let's say to appease those types of builders who don't want mobs to spawn in their dark build, Mojang changes how mobs spawn. But that would ruin mob farms, and everyone would have to completely redo their farms, and yeah, a lot of people might be benefiting, but a lot of people might not be benefiting. Let's say Mojang changes beds so that they set your spawn. They don't allow you to really skip the night anymore, or if you, they disincentivize using them, but people like skipping the night, so they're going to be annoyed. So it's basically a big old balancing act. And yeah, there are mods to fix these things. There are mods to change Minecraft to be exactly how you want it to be. But that's the thing. Mojang isn't making Minecraft for you. They're making Minecraft for you, your friend, your other friend, the other bunch of people who you don't know, who all have a different experience with Minecraft and different goals and different intentions for playing the game. Borderline, it's very difficult to create Minecraft. You're not going to make everyone happy. And so, you also have one other thing. Crunch culture in video games. Sorry guys, but from what I can tell, Mojang does not really suffer from crunch culture. At least, Mojang in Stockholm. I don't know about Mojang in Texas, because they're more Microsoft run, but, but as far as I know, Mojang does not suffer from crunch time. So you don't have developers just putting their entire life and sleeping at the office just to finish the game, which is great for them, but also means that we're getting less work to the bone content. But I'd rather have this than work to the bone content. I.e., look at the state of most AAA games right now. Overworked developers who need more time are just being forced to push it out, and they basically, yeah, sure, they can make a lot of content. It doesn't mean it's good. Doesn't mean it's play tested well. And we have another problem. Massive teams. Massive teams mean less thorough vision, unless you have a very hierarchical structure. And instead we have a very corporate, made by committee sort of system for a lot of things, which is impacting Minecraft, but Minecraft needs to account for a lot of people, so they kind of need that by committee vote. However, as an urban planner, not as an urban planner, but as someone who's going into school for urban planning and who has interned as an urban planner, it's If everything's made by committee, progress will be slow, people will not be happy, and you essentially lock yourself into one specific type of development, where you only get to add certain specific things that are more common to get through committee. So that's why you're going to have, ooh, cutesy mob is going to be added. Oh, let's have the mob vote so that people can have a say within this sort of system. And we'll only add the one thing because time is valuable and we have other things to work on. Yeah, let's just pitch some concepts that we would normally just put on a board. Like, guys, the mob vote, the biome vote, was basically just Mojang saying, hey, see these concepts we have? This prototype stuff that we thought of that isn't actually fully implemented? Yeah, those animations really tricked people into thinking these features were more developed. No, all they had were ideas. They were in the idea stage. Going from idea to completion is completely different. Not only that, but making the idea in of itself and the gameplay concepts is also time consuming within itself. And so, let's say you have pitched all these ideas, have these gameplay functionalities considered, and then pitch it to the public. There's a lot that we don't get to see because they just are being pitched, and then someone in the team says, nah, we can't do it, or, we like this idea, but let's table it for later. Which is kind of what happened with the rest of the mob vote. The little miner dude basically got transformed into the wandering trader. Some of that functionality went to him. So they still implemented the idea just without having to add a whole new mob, add more bloat. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the current state of Minecraft. I am currently enjoying it. I'm enjoying the new drop system. I do hope that after every other drop, or like every few drops, we get an actual bigger update. Because the drop should be, a little thing to tide us over, essentially, as they work on bigger updates that have more substantial changes. And the drop system, as much as I like it, it is going to harm, modders if they keep up the pace they're keeping at the current time. However, I do like it. I think Mojang is on the right path towards trying to appease Minecraft's player base to getting that boom, boom, boom content. And remember, Minecraft isn't just Java Edition, it's also Bedrock, and Bedrock is getting constant content from the marketplace, constant crossovers from the marketplace, constant crossovers, constant texture pack, constant content, and also constant content on Java Edition from people uploading their maps, uploading their texture packs, uploading their mods. So all this constant content, but more available if you're on Bedrock Edition and just buying it directly from the Minecraft store. All of this stuff means that Minecraft isn't actually getting content at a slower rate as we thought. It's still getting more content, it's just not base game content. So that it's DLC, basically. Well, not made by Mojang DLC, but still technically DLC. But what Mojang has to focus on is the base game and maintaining how the base game interacts with all of this extra content, and how all their new content can feed into making extra content. That means that we have situations where Mojang will just kind of add something that helps map makers, say like the new light block thing, they did add like an extra light block thing, but that was for creative, not survival, and extra dev kit stuff for the base game for people to mess around with and build with. Well, not build with, but use it to build stuff with. I mean, imagine if we didn't have the command block in base creative Minecraft. Like, that's technically a dev block, and now we got access to a few more dev blocks. The jigsaw block is a dev block. Mojang's doing a really good job with telling us and showing us what they are doing to develop the game. They have shown us how they develop the game. They tell us exactly what they do. They release part of a book that tells you exactly how they make the game and what the thought process is for every single thing added to the game. It's not just going, hey, we just want to add this now. No, now it's developed a system for what feels like Minecraft getting added into Minecraft. Yet every time something gets added to Minecraft, people say it feels like mods because they're not used to seeing extra content. Anyway, the new update, the new drop, which we don't know the name of yet, is pretty great so far. It's probably nearing its end, and most of it is just retextured mobs and some new bushes. And hey, finally fireflies. I do enjoy all the new bushes. I do enjoy the new sound effects and how that adds to ambiance. I feel like they could do a little more, but again, it's not an update, it's a drop. It's supposed to be smaller scale, come out quicker, and not be as development intense. It's supposed to be easier to develop. That's literally the point of it. They give us an easier to develop thing so that they can put harder, more intensive resources into developing the main update spread across both Bedrock and Java for parity. That's it. It's not like, oh, remember, budgets. Microsoft is in the interest of making money. They're not going to spend like an overt amount of budget on Minecraft, because Minecraft already makes money. There's no reason to really spend so much more on it other than marketing and the current movie. But I think the state of the game is actually pretty good. It's fun. It's still the same Minecraft we all know and love. We still have more options to build with, more options to play with. I just think that, Mojang could do more. Yeah. Should they do more? If Mojang adds a bigger update each year, like bigger and bigger and bigger, how fast will that impact bloat? Think about it. People are already complaining about all the new stuff being hard to track in Minecraft. But if they added an even bigger update, then bam, we have more bloat, more stuff to keep track of, which is why the bundle was added. And if you play mods, if you play like all the mods, if you make a mod pack, all of the content, all of that stuff, it's overwhelming. And Mojang wants Minecraft to last like a good few decades, probably like 100 years, if they want to. Think about it. If you add massive update after massive update, the game style size grows, you run out of good ideas. You run out of stuff you can update in the future. You can't just add everything you want in a game that's a live service game. Remember, Minecraft is technically a live service game. You can't just update everything at once and then still have continuous updates, because you have to come up with good ideas, you have to come up with long-lasting ideas, and you have to make sure that all of it is manageable by the player base. And any new player is coming into all this new Minecraft stuff, and they're slowly getting overwhelmed, and even veteran Minecraft players are thinking it's too much and going back to beta. So, is adding more content? It has to be thoughtful, small content over time with some big changes that to change either the dynamic or add something that wasn't there before. Trial chambers fill a niche, a PvE niche that wasn't being filled before. Plus a multiplayer niche that wasn't being filled before. Instead of just say, hey, let's go attack this dungeon together, now we all collectively benefit from tackling this brand new dungeon, which is great. I do wish Minecraft had more dungeons in it, and that the Nether Fortress got updated, but I have a feeling they don't want to update the Nether Fortress. 1 time, 2, it already serves its purpose, and 3, it works. Why update it? Like, same with a lot of the other old stuff. If it works, if it plays well with new features, there's no reason to update it. And besides, people might complain. People might say that it's the same as the other Nether Fort. Well, not the same. People might complain that it looks worse than the other one, that they preferred it being simple. And, because, Minecraft players. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This was a very long rant, very non-edited rant, probably. And I hope you enjoy me mining and talking and talking and talking and talking. And I will stop now.